皆さん、こんにちは。本日はジェトロ在米日系製造業向け人材開発ウェビナーにお越しいただきましてありがとうございます。本日司会を務めますジェトロシカゴ事務所の橋本です。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。まずはじめにシステムについてご紹介をさせていただきます。本日は Zoom のウェビナーシステムを使っております。同時通訳ご用意しておりますので、この後の英語のプレゼンテーション、日本語でお聞きになりたい場合には、日本語の選択をお願いいたします。ご質問がある場合には、クエスチョンから直接入力をお願いいたします。日本語でも結構です。ウェビナー終了後、アンケート画面に移りますので、アンケートのご協力お願いいたします。本日はこの在米日系製造業向け人材開発をシリーズでお送りいたしております。ジェトロシカゴ事務所では4年ほど前からこの人材開発をテーマに事業を進めております。これは在米日系企業の製造拠点、また研究開発拠点の増加に伴い、労働開発、人材戦略の重要性が高まっていたところです。弁護士を招いて雇用関係法のウェビナーや人材コンサルの方を招いたその雇用のトレンドをお話しするということも行ってきましたが、特にこの事業では現地のローカルな教育機関との連携をテーマに進めております。それは米国の教育機関の現状を学ぶということと、その連携方法を学んでいくというところです。本ウェビナー、前回のウェビナーではトライン大学、インディアナ州の私立技術系の大学ですね、地元に根ざした大学としてトライン大学に参加をいただきまして、連携方法などを学びました。本日はオハイオ州の高校レベルになりますが、デラウェアエリアキャリアセンターの皆様に参加をいただきまして、その連携方法や現状のカリキュラム、学生の様子などについてお話をいただきます。ご存知の方多いと思いますけれども、アメリカは高校まで、年長から高校までが義務教育機関です。ただ、この中身はですね、州、学区によって大きく異なります。今回ご紹介するキャリアセンターは高校に相当するところです。日本であれば中学卒業の後、進学校に進むのか、職業訓練を中心に行う高校、専門高校に進むのかという一つのキャリアがありますが、米国の場合は高校までが義務教育ですので、学区に従ってそのまま高校まで持ち上がります。一方で、地域に応じたその産業ニーズを組むような形でのカリキュラム育成、作成などを行っており、このキャリアセンターはオハイオ州で行われているまさに現地に根ざした現地の産業ニーズに合わせたこの職業訓練を行う高校です。ですので、学生は通常の高校に通いながら、自身のキャリアに応じてキャリアセンターも学んでいくというような立ち位置にあります。キャリアセンター卒業後は、4年生の大学、2年生のカレッジに進む学生もいれば、直接就職する学生もいます。ですので、今回、オハイオ州から参加をいただいている企業の方多いですけれども、単純に高卒の採用を促進するというだけではなくて、より長期的な視点での労働開発、人事戦略にお役に立てればというふうに思います。州外から参加の方々も同じような機能がこの高校の中にあったりですね、同じような機能を持つセンターがあるケース多いですので、一つの事例としてご参考になればというふうに思います。それでは、実際のセッションに進めてまいります。その前に、ジェトロシカゴ事務所所長のアラルフ・インフォルザートより一言ご挨拶申し上げます。ここからは英語で展開しますので、通訳ご利用の方は同時通訳、日本語をご選択ください。
はじめまして。私はジェトロシカゴのラルフ・インフォルザートです。Thank you for joining this seminar today. Please listen and allow me to speak English. I'm always concerned about workforce development within Japanese manufacturing companies. It's getting harder and harder, you know? But we came upon the Delaware Area Career Center, Delaware, Ohio. It's quite impressive for me. I made a visit to the Career Center, and I was quite impressed. The students are being trained for advanced technical skills that will accelerate their smooth placement within manufacturing operations. The students came up to me, they're energized. They're enthusiastic about working. They said, we want to work, that's why we're here. We want to be technically trained so we can jump into manufacturing. Actually, I've never had students come up to me like that before, and it's a reflection of a very motivated faculty. The faculty at the Delaware Area Career Center, they want their students to succeed. They want to introduce them to manufacturing. So for me at Jetro, I believe this is a very good opportunity for Japanese companies in the central Ohio area to make an aisatsu with the Delaware Area Career Center administrators, their public information officers, and their faculty. Please listen to their presentations carefully. And I can tell you, if you want to visit them, they will welcome you. This is what we want to do. We want to build good relationships between these technical centers and the Japanese manufacturing clusters in Central Ohio. Thank you again very much for your time.
Thank you, Rao-san. Then I'd like to move to a main session. So first of all, I'd like to welcome the Mr. Poroda, Delaware Area Career Center Superintendent. So we received a kind message from him. So Alicia, could you share his message? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jay Poroda, and I am the Superintendent of the Delaware Area Career Center. I would like to thank you for taking time to meet with my colleagues. We are looking forward to working with you, and we are looking forward to finding opportunities for you to connect with our students. At the Delaware Area Career Center, we are committed to helping high school students prepare for their future careers with employers such as yourselves. One of the ways we do this is by partnering with businesses that have an interest in hiring young adults who are passionate about what they are studying. Throughout the presentation this evening, you will learn more about the kinds of students who attend our school, the types of programs we offer, and how you can get help to shape the future of your industry right here in Ohio by getting involved in work-based learning. Thank you again for your time and your attention. Have a great meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Poroda. So now I'd like to introduce Alicia Mori, Public Information Officer, DACC. So we met Alicia when we visited them. Alicia kindly explained fully about DACC. Now she has a nice presentation, and kindly she will provide a virtual tour of the facility. So Alicia, please.
Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to have us here this evening and for allowing us to speak in English. We're excited to talk to you tonight about the Delaware Area Career Center. So my name is Alicia Mowry. I am our Public Information Officer, which means I oversee our communications. So anything that is communicated with our business partners, with our students, with our families, a lot of that comes from me. So this evening, we will talk about what is career and technical education. We'll tell you about the types of students who come to our school, the different programs students can study, and then we'll do a review of the credentials and certifications that students can earn. And then after that, Nick Steffen is our engineering instructor, and we'll do a deep dive into what the engineering program does and what students get out of that program. And then Carrie Trusley is our career technical supervisor. She will talk about how businesses such as yours can get involved with our students. So first of all, what is career and technical education. We are our own school district. We have our own superintendent and our own board of education, but we're primarily a high school. So the schools all around us, all over Delaware County, send students to us who want to study a specific career field. And this could be engineering, it could be something within manufacturing, or it could be in a number of different areas. But they come because they're excited to learn about a specific industry. They want to earn credentials and certifications that will help them when they go to get a job. They want to connect with business professionals such as you. They want to work with you and have opportunities to come out to your facilities and get that early experience. And that experience is so valuable to prepare them for their life after high school or after college. Some of our students will go on to college right after high school, and some will go right into the workforce. So we are in Delaware, Ohio. So if you're familiar with Ohio, this is the map of Ohio, and you can see Columbus right there in the middle. Delaware County is directly north of Columbus, of central Ohio. So all of our students come from this general area of Delaware County. The types of students who attend DACC, their ages range from about 15 to 18. A lot of our students are around that 16 to 17 years of age. They live in or around Delaware County, just north of Columbus, and they have to submit an application in order to attend our school. So this says a lot about the students who want to come here. They have to do the research and the work and apply to be able to be accepted into one of our programs. They also have to maintain certain grades and a certain level of attendance, which means for so many years in a row, they have to have had come to school for a certain number of days and have that high attendance level in order to be accepted. And then the students are always interested in one specific industry. So they're not coming here to take a broad level of classes. They're really studying one specific type of job to go into. This is a list of all of the programs we offer, and we won't talk about all of these tonight, but I wanted to put this in front of you so that you can see what students can study here at DACC. Tonight, we'll focus on the engineering technician and the engineering, robotics, automation, and design programs, and those are under the transportation and manufacturing category. But you can see there are other programs also in that category, and we're happy to share more about those programs with you at a later date. So while students are here, they're studying to be prepared for college and careers. And part of the way they do this is through job shadowing opportunities, through internships. They research colleges and go on those visits, and we offer them scholarship applications. And I tell you this because I want you to know that while they're here, they're exploring. They're really learning about what life after college or life after high school will look like. And that makes them more prepared to enter the workforce with more confidence and more preparedness. We also want them to be good adults when they enter the workforce. We want them to be able to shake your hand and look you in the eye and talk to you with confidence. So we work on interpersonal skills and professionalism. They build strong resumes and portfolios. They practice interviewing. So it's not just the technical skills that they're learning, it's also the skills that you need to be able to work at a professional place and be able to talk to your colleagues and work with other people who do what you do every day. We do have a virtual tour on our website, and we're going to give you just a quick view of what that virtual tour looks like, but we invite you to come back to our website later and tour the building on your own.
When I click the Start Here button, we'll watch a short video about the Delaware Area Career Center. It will take about 30 seconds to watch this video. If you come back to this website after tonight, you won't have to watch that video again. You can click a button to skip it and get straight to the virtual tour. So this is what our campus looks like from the inside. This is inside the main part of our building. You can click around and zoom through the building and take a walking tour of what it looks like to be a DACC student. Up here is a list of programs that you can look at. You can also view it by clicking on the school map. So if you click programs and then program list, I know tonight we're focusing on our engineering programs. So you can scroll down to engineering, robotics, automation and design, or engineering technician. So I'll go ahead and click on engineering technicians to take you right into that classroom.
Welcome to engineering technician. Engineering technicians use application-oriented principles of science, engineering, and mathematics to solve technical problems in research and development and manufacturing operations. They perform both preventative and corrective maintenance on mechanical systems, electromechanical systems, hydraulic and pneumatic systems, and automated production systems. Successful completers of this program may pursue career areas as diverse as manufacturing, environmental control, food and pharmaceutical production, and power plants.
So when Mr. Steffen talks about this particular program, he will talk to you about all the different equipment that they use in this class and how that applies to what you do in your businesses. But if you want to see what this class looks like, you can click through here using these buttons and walk through the lab and see the types of equipment that students use. There are videos that you can click on and different ways to interact with the program. So we invite you to come back and click through these classrooms and take a look and see what these look like. You can also click out of the room. You can follow these little arrows right out the front door, and you can see there's an out button right here. And you can walk down our hallway to see more labs. And you can click through the building that way. And behind every door is another lab to visit to find out what students are learning at the Delaware Area Career Center. So please come back when you have time and click through this. You can, again, see the whole list of programs by clicking programs, or you can view it by the school map. And if you click school map, the engineering programs are up here in this corner on the upper left-hand side.
And this is a link to that virtual tour. So I believe this will be shared afterwards, but you can also jot this down right now, and we hope you'll come back and visit that. So now I would like to hand this presentation over to our engineering technician instructor, Mr. Nick Steffen, and he will be able to tell you a lot more about what students do in that engineering program.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here, and I just am so grateful that I get to connect with so many of you. It's such a great opportunity for my students. They're just so eager to get out and work in the industry and to fill those employment gaps. So our students in my program are troubleshooters and fixers. They love going in, getting their hands dirty, and using their skills to keep our manufacturing systems running. We're really focused on training students with that problem-solving mindset, so they know how systems work and they know how to make them more efficient. Some of the highlights of our program are that we offer our students the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification, trying to teach them about the whole system, how to make that more efficient, how to work within a already established manufacturing system. We teach them CAD and CAM programs through SolidWorks and Autodesk. They can get certified through SolidWorks. We teach them the basics of CNC milling through FANUC. And they can get a certification through that. We teach them Allen Bradley PLCs. They also get a certification for that. And then our last certification is through Parker Hydraulics and Pneumatics. So when we are training our students to go out in the industry, we want them to have a broad range of skills. And we want them to be responsible and be able to work hard for you on day one and have a good idea about type of machines that you have in your factories or work settings. So this is a picture of one of our students who's currently working at a manufacturing setting, and he's been there 1 year now since he graduated. You go to the next slide. Yeah, so we have another picture here of a student who's currently interning at a manufacturing facility, and he plans on, he's there 4 days a week this semester, and then when he graduates, he'll keep working there, and then hopefully that'll turn into a lifelong career for him. He wants to go to college at one point, but he has a great foundation now for what he wants to do and experience. I mean, that's our goal, is to get our students connected with you, give them skills, entry-level skills. And so if you hire them, they'll know the basics of what you're doing and be able to hit the ground running. We are trying to give them a lot of different skills, from mechatronics to OSHA training, welding, hydraulics, PLCs, electrical. So they'll know a lot about a lot of different subjects. Go to the next slide. And then we also have a robotics, automation, and design program. And so this is for our students that are more design focused, and they do a lot more with robotics and automation. They can get certified through Remoto Man Robotics, through Fanuc Robotics, and now they're using Universal Robotics. And so there are students that are a little less hands-on in the term of getting dirty and getting in there fixing machines, but they want to be able to design those systems as a way to keep them going. And these are some machines we have in our lab. So some of our Fanuc machines, CNC machines, and our Allen Bradley PLC trainers. Then we have our Fanuc robots and the Yaskawa robots. And all of our students get certified on these through industry certification, so they'll leave having worked on that professional equipment. Yep, and so then next I'll hand this off to Mrs. Carrie Trusley. She's the head of our work-based learning program, and she's our career and technical supervisor.
Thank you, Nick. Again, we just cannot thank you enough for giving us this opportunity to be in front of you and share the wonderful experiences that we have and we offer students here at Delaware Area Career Center, and working on the partnerships that we really work hard to build with business and industry. So again, at Delaware Area Career Center, we actively seek to partner with businesses and community members in Delaware County, throughout Central Ohio and beyond. There are a number of ways for businesses who are interested to join us in our efforts to build a skilled and sustainable workforce. You can hire an intern through work-based learning, which is something I'm going to talk about in more detail shortly. You can invite students to your facilities individually through job shadowing or as a group for a field trip or a tour. You may want to come to the building to share information about your company or career field by speaking to our different labs or participating in job or career fairs that we host here at DACC. And you can find, or you will be able to find, more detailed information in some of the supporting materials that we've provided for webinar attendees. I believe that you'll be receiving that after this concludes. It's the Work-Based Learning 101 partnership with a purpose packet. Go ahead, next slide, please. So now, as we begin to talk about work-based learning, it's important, I think, first to understand exactly what it is and what it means in Ohio. The State Department of Education has developed a detailed definition of work-based learning, They define it as being coordinated, sustained student interactions with business and industry in real workplace settings, that they foster those in-depth, authentic learning experiences that link the academic and the technical and professional skills that they have picked up while they have been here at the Career Center. And we want to give students the opportunity to apply what they've learned here in school out in the real world. So how, through work-based learning, not only do students get to engage in an amazing growth opportunity, but businesses will also see a return on the investment that they put into our students. Businesses, you can preserve resources, time, finances by connecting with local talent early, kind of get a jump on other companies, helping to recruit your future employees. Also, school administrators and instructors are part of a support team with the businesses, and we serve as points of contact at DACC. We pre-screen students so that they are qualified candidates, and we match them, the employers, with interested students who have a suitable skill set as well. Students experience growth throughout the work-based learning experience through the feedback from the employer. This feedback is coupled with continued learning in the classroom. You can look at this as potentially an extended job interview for that student. I know Nick had mentioned a couple of his students, some that I actually, both that I have worked with, one who is currently employed by someone for whom he worked previously through work-based learning, and another, one of the pictures was a student who is currently participating in work-based learning. And we hope that again, as Nick said, fosters a lifelong career for that student. So there are requirements for work-based learning. In Ohio, we value students having this opportunity to participate in WBL. We want the experiences to be robust and meaningful. We're not sending students just to go out and just work, but we want them to, again, be able to apply the technical skills that they have learned while they've been here at the Career Center. But the State Department of Education has put some guiding principles in place for student work-based learning. And this, to kind of reiterate, and some of these components were part of the definition that they developed, but the experiences occur at a work site. It's not just something that happens within the classroom, that it's not just a project or practice of the work with only the teacher, but it's an experience with professionals and field experts. These opportunities are co-supervised, again, by the team of school personnel and an employer or mentor. It's really a group effort. There is an agreement in place that all stakeholders' responsibilities are outlined and agreed upon. It also includes a training plan, which is a plan that's built on professional competencies that are aligned to the student's program of study. So a student would have competencies that are aligned to the coursework of our engineering technician program or of our robotics automation and design program. We want the tasks of that position to align with the things that they have learned and the work that they would be doing in their labs as well. And additionally, there's ongoing feedback and meaningful evaluation of the student progress that's provided by the employer or mentor that comes back to the school. So again, just to continue on with there are some documentation pieces that are required as well. And sometimes it may seem like the initial process or documentation might feel cumbersome as a student gets started in work-based learning, but it all goes back to the desire and the need for this to be a robust and meaningful learning opportunity. We also want to make sure that we're setting up a student for success and that they are bringing value to your company. So some of the specific documentation that we go through, we have the student, they first apply to participate in work-based learning. And this ensures that they are a qualified candidate. Again, setting them up for success. We want the businesses to gain someone who is skilled and is going to be an asset to them. And again, there is an agreement in place so that everyone is on the same page about their responsibilities, including the school, the student, the employer, the student's parents or guardians as well. And again, the training plan is the list of competencies on which the student's growth is evaluated. That's going to be collaboratively developed between the company and the instructor. So we ask too that employers, that the supervisors provide feedback to the students based on those competencies. That helps us to not only help skill up the student if there are areas of practice or something that they may need to hone their skills on, but it also helps inform our programming, things that we might need to incorporate in our coursework and the things that we teach other students as well who are in that program. And then lastly, we have students document their time that they participate in work-based learning, and that information gets reported to the state. Go ahead to the next slide, please. So I just wanted to share with you, just to illustrate a little bit of the success of the program. This is our work-based learning data up until this week, actually. So it's timely data. We have over 160 students, and this is across all of our programs. So over 160 students working with nearly 100 local businesses who have earned close to $150,000 by completing nearly 18,000 hours of work-based learning. Not all of our placements are paid. We do have some unpaid internships. We do have students who go into paid positions as well. And so if I could just leave this with you. Lastly, I want to tell you about the support for work-based learning. So not only does our Board of Education believe strongly in this, our school really is working hard to grow our work-based learning programs. We want to promote this program and prepare students for their futures, for success in college and in careers. But the state also strongly believes in this as well. Currently, students who are participating in a career and technical education program, like those who are at DACC, are exempt from most minor labor laws. And then the state also continues to expand their legislative support for work-based learning. There are many things that are in the pipeline that will help career centers and schools across the state expand work-based learning opportunities for students. We want this to not just be something that is expected for elite students, but we would like this to be an expectation that it is part of all students' educational experience in one way or another. And the state really supports this in order to strengthen businesses and the workforce, as well as our communities. So thank you for listening this evening. We're very happy to answer any questions you may have. We've shared our contact information here. Again, I'm Carrie Trusley, the administrator who supervises work-based learning at Delaware Area Career Center. Nick Steffen is the instructor for our engineering technician program. And this is how you can get a hold of us. But I believe we might be going to a question and answer session now. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Carrie, for your comprehensive presentation, and Nick also. So now everyone's here to answer any questions from the floor. So please write your question on the Q&A function. So I have several questions first. Maybe Alicia can answer from the broader points of view, and Nick can follow from specific. The question is, how long does it take typically to complete each courses? So students usually apply when they are first grade freshman in the high school.
Mm-hmm. Most students will apply as sophomores. So when they're a sophomore in high school, they will submit their application, and then they come to the Delaware Area Career Center as juniors and seniors. So most of our programs are 2-year programs. And while they're here during those 2 years is when we want to connect them with those business partners. And I believe most of the programs, they're out doing that work-based learning during their senior year.
Thank you. So Nick, could you elaborate a little bit more about your curriculum? So first 1 year, what would you teach? And for sophomore, second year, what type of classes are you teaching?
Yes, so the first year with my juniors is a lot of foundational skills. So the basic skills of how to use tools, how to work safely in a manufacturing environment, how to communicate with employers and other people. Then the second year we get into a lot of the higher level certifications. So the PLCs and the CNCs and all of those industry tools. And we do that first semester of the senior year. And then the second semester is typically when most of my students go out on internships, or work-based learning. And so right now I have about half of my seniors are out of my class 3 or 4 days a week, and they're out working at companies, getting paid and getting experience to work at companies. So my goal is that second part of the senior year, they'll spend more time working with companies than they will in my class, because I learned so much through that experience.
Thank you. So I've already had 3 questions from the company registers. That's a question about the students. I think Nick can answer about the question of engineering technicians course. So how many students are there, and what their visions or career they are envisioning?
Yeah, so I have 25 students in my junior class, and then I'll have 25 in my senior class. And a majority of my students in the engineering technician program would like to graduate and have a job, a manufacturing-based job. And so they're ready to go out and work in the industry and get experience. A lot of them are looking for that technician role. We know they can be troubleshooting systems. A lot of my students have that problem-solving mindset. And so it's good. There's a lot of opportunity there, because a lot of students are realizing that there's opportunities without going to college. There's value in getting trained by a company.
So could you make some comments on what types of factors students are thinking important to select their careers, or which company is good to go?
So are you asking what type of companies they're wanting to go to?
Yes. What type of factors are important for them when they choose companies?
Yeah, I think for my students, the factors that are important are where the location is. So students graduating high school, a lot of them don't want to go very far away from Ohio or from where they live here. And so the location is important. I think the benefits of the company, how can they grow in the company? A lot of my students still want to be educated. So they want to know that the company is going to help them grow and help them learn. And so they can advance through the company.
I understand. So they are taught the teamwork is important, so they respect and they see the teamwork or atmosphere is also important to select.
Yeah, I think my students are very educated and they want to be in a company that values them and helps them grow, to grow their career.
Thank you. So related quick question is, students happen to work for other states? It's a kind of a question from before. Maybe you said, yeah, students usually hire the local area, but do you know any cases hired in other states?
So during high school, our students are not, they're not able to go out of the state because they're still going to school here. But I haven't had any students yet that have got jobs out of Ohio. I have students that would like that, but I just have not had any. And this is our 4th year of the program. And so it's fairly new. And so we just haven't had graduates work outside of Ohio.
Makes sense, thank you. So another question about the engineering course. I will read. This may have been answered already, but do the engineering students learn any coding during your program? So if so, what kind of coding software do you utilize?
Yeah, we do some ladder logic coding for our PLCs. We do G coding for our CNC machines. We do a little bit of kind of a C++ coding we do some Arduino microcontrollers. But that would be about it for our coding.
Thank you. So I have a question for Carrie. So for companies to participate in work-based learning initiative, so you kindly explained the work from the student side, but what is the kind of a workflow from a company side to join that meeting? So first, we have a meeting with you and learn more and kind of a join officially at specific timing.
So we find partners in many different ways. I get emails from people who have heard of us from other folks or from things that we have put out through social media or emails to other partners. But I'm always, there's no one right way to do it. Sometimes I am the first point of communication. Sometimes I'm not. It might be the lab instructor, but I usually talk with someone, share information, our fact sheets, which not in great detail, but they give information, general information about what happens in a particular lab. We decide what the best next steps are, whether it's a tour of the building, whether it's to connect them with the lab instructor, what they might be looking for. If we have students who would fit that. So, I'm happy to speak with anybody about how we might connect, just in any way. Like I said, no one right way to do it. There are lots of different routes to take to build that partnership.
Good to know that kind of a flexibility.
Yes, yes.
So do you have any specific conditions that company have to meet to join the work-based learning or internship program?
So, have to assume that it's a safe place to work. We've oftentimes our lab instructors have made a visit to the facility, to the place of business. They also, in communicating with who might be the supervisor, the lab instructors are the best person to determine that the tasks that the student would be engaged in align with the competencies of the class. So we want to make sure that there's a correlation. It doesn't have, we wouldn't expect a site to do every single thing that the students have learned, but that this is maybe just focusing with a finer lens on the things that they have learned throughout their time at DACC in their program. Equal opportunity employer, I guess safety, alignment with the lab, and a willingness to work with us and get something in return, something very valuable in return.
Thank you. How about the size or the number of employees that companies should have?
We've had students work with companies from 10 employees to 200 employees, well, even plus. So that can vary as well.
Okay, thank you. So going back to a general question, I think Alicia can answer about the tuition. Students pay anything to apply, to join these courses is a question.
That's a great question. We are a public school, so we are funded through taxpayer dollars and through some federal grants, but students don't pay tuition to come here. They do pay a few lab fees, and so those fees will go towards buying tools and equipment, and they often are able to take those tools and equipment with them when they graduate, depending on the program. So there is a small cost. It could be anywhere from $25 to $800 for a program. But again, that goes towards equipment they'll be using, but there's no tuition just to attend.
Thank you. So I'd like to remind floor's participants, you can ask any questions by using Q&A function. So, Nick-san, could you share some, I heard a lot of stories when we visited there about the students' career, and some graduated students come back to talk about what they experience right now. So could you share some student stories after graduating your courses?
Yes, so for my course, I have part of my students, will go right to work, and part of them will, go to schooling and then go to work. And so one of the great things about where I work in our program is that we stay connected with our students. And so we want our students to be able to be on our advisory board and help guide us through the next step. So if a student is working with a company, I'm always connecting with them to find out what I need to teach or what I need to improve on with the companies they're working at. I have students that are at all different types of companies. So some of them are at steel processing facilities. Some of them are working with design and doing more of the designing of products. We have students that are, at automobile manufacturing, doing research and development. So we have students doing a lot of different jobs. So we don't have one type of student. So our students have a lot of different skills and interests.
Thank you. So I got a question about internship from the outside. So I've already typed in. Right now, DACC are not working with companies outside of Ohio. But I know.
No, that is true. Just because their students are still attending high school, so they're still in school. So to be out of state it's not feasible.
So I made a comment. So the companies out of Ohio may find a similar career center or high school. They can take an internship program. So I like to encourage them to check the local educational system.
Yes, that is.
So I got the question. So understand that this is a technical skill. So however, do you touch base on soft skills with students? I think you touched, but could you explain about the soft skill?
Sure, I can answer that. And then Nick, if you want to elaborate on what you do in your lab, but across our whole district, we understand that when students leave our school, they need to be able to do more than just know the technical skills. They have to be able to talk to other adults. They have to be able to look you in the eye and shake your hand. They have to explain what they're doing. They may be a great engineer and know exactly what's going on in the machine they're using, but they have to be able to explain that to maybe someone who doesn't understand that equipment, maybe someone in a different department. So we work a lot with our students to make sure that they have the confidence to be able to speak intelligently about what they're doing and to be able to work with other people and know how to work as a team and how to explain what they're doing.
Yes, yeah. So in my lab, one of the things we do in the junior year is we start with all my students have to start small manufacturing businesses in my class. And the focus is not just on making a product, but they have to communicate with customers. They have to create business plans and they have to create relationships with people. And through this process, they have to interview with people. They're responsible for emailing them and calling people. And so everything we do in our my classes has an aspect of working with a customer or working with someone else outside of our class. And then all of our labs at the school have to have our students do practice interviewing. And so they go out and they practice interviewing people from the industry. When they get their internships, they have to go connect with people and have to visit so many companies every year. And so they have a lot of opportunities to learn through actually being forced to meet and connect with people.
I was in Nick's lab this morning and his students were building these big machines. They were Rube Goldberg machines where you have lots of different steps to make the next step happen. And Nick asked us to judge the machines and help choose a winner. But one of the categories on the judging form was how well did they explain to us what they created and how well did they convince us that theirs was the best. So being able to have that communication and being able to look at a room full of grown-ups and explain that is really valuable.
We also, I should add that we do ask for feedback on what we call the employability skills, those soft skills. So there is an additional evaluation piece, really just more so the feedback that we want to hear from students who are out on work-based learning. So not only do we ask for information on how well they are applying their technical skills, but we do have some of the soft skills listed as well to get feedback from folks on the outside about that.
Thank you very much. So if there is no questions from the floor, I'd like to ask each speaker to make a final comment and kind of ask audience to fill in the questionnaire survey. There's a question, are you interested in having a meeting with the DACC team? So if you are interested in having a meeting with them, please click yes. I will share the contacts of you and they will reach out to you. So may I ask a final comments from Alicia?
Sure. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to meet with us this evening. Our school is better whenever we can partner with our local businesses. We really thrive on those business partnerships. So we just appreciate the time you're putting into learning about what we do and what our students can do for you.
Thank you. So Nick, please.
Yes, yeah, thank you so much for connecting with us. I think students learn the most when they're connected with real people and real companies. And I think that adds to their learning. So I think any connection we can make really helps out you and helps out us. So it's wonderful. And thank you for doing this for our students. And we would love to have you come visit or have me come visit you and connect with as many of you as I can.
Thank you. So Carrie, please.
Yes, I think they've said all of the good things. Thank you very much for allowing us to share what we do here with you, and we hope that can turn into the development of these so very important and valued and treasured partnerships where everybody benefits. It's a win-win-win-win situation.
So we're very grateful and happy to be part of that win-win-win situation. So I'd like to close in Japanese. So I'd like to extend our greatest appreciation for the DACC team joining today. それでは時間になりますので、これでウェビナー終了したいと思います。改めて日本企業どれだけ歓迎されているかっていうのを感じています。ぜひオハイオ州の方々、DACC と同じようなキャリアセンター含めて関係構築ご検討ください。州外の方もぜひこのような高校レベルのからの教育機関との関係構築ご検討いただければと思います。最後に今後の予定ですけれども、このウェビナーシリーズ、次はまた大学に戻って、州立、公立のミシガン大学をお招きをして、その大学の現状や企業との連携の、特に研究開発も含めた連携などについてお話を伺う予定です。改めてご案内いたします。それでは本日のウェビナー、こちらで終了いたします。最後、アンケートをよろしくお願いいたします。本日はありがとうございました。